Hi everybody, this is the afternoon/evening update for the 8th. I just got out of the shower, so sorry, but I forgot to do the... This is real life, sorry. I forgot to do the update, so I thought I would do it now. When I went in, his blood pressure was higher, his oxygen saturation was about 93. He was really taking a lot of respiratory effort. He was very gurgly, so I checked to see, it sounded like a cuff leak for the trach, and then I looked in his mouth and he's bleeding in his mouth somewhere and there's junk. So I had to wait for someone to find somebody because there's nobody around to suction him and stuff. And of course they're worried that the more that they stick the yonker back there, that they're going to dislodge whatever clot might be forming, that they don't know where it's coming from. It's like, you're bleeding from one end, now you're bleeding from the other. Could we just not, maybe? Anyway, so apparently they had weaned him completely off the propofol this afternoon, and when I was gone, but his pressures, I think they said his pressures became too high, so they put him back on some propofol. Then they needed to clean him up, so they briefed on that leg, like I've told them time and time again, and his blood, like his eyes opened, and he was blinking, and the poor guy, who was obviously in excruciating pain, to be still on propofol and opening his eyes and like that, and I told him time and time again, and I said, please make a note of that leg, because you're gonna have to figure out something else to not do that when you change him, like, especially if you want him to wake up, like, because that drove his pressures into the 180 over 60 something. Like, it was terrible. So then she gave him two extra two micrograms or milligrams, shoot, whatever the unit is for dilaudid, I think it's milligrams, to see if that would help, and his pressures kept going up above 180. So she gave him another little bolus of propofol, so that just like knocked him back the heck out. But yeah, his heart rate and his pressures came down. In fact, now I'm hoping she didn't drop him too far, because that's what they historically like to do, is, and they drop him till his pressure is too soft, and then they have to bring in the levofed, and then they have to do all this other stuff. Anyway, and his work of breathing was getting above 30. He was, above 30 respirators per minute, really working hard, and that's something I guess I'm not prepared for, and I need to prepare myself for, is that when they start waking people up, they can look really uncomfortable. I mean, they're weaning off of the opiates and the benzodiazepines, so there's going to be some withdrawal. Their respiration rate and blood pressures can go higher. His work of breathing has to go up, because now his lungs are being forced to kind of, I guess when they wean down on the ECMO some, then it puts more liters of blood challenge, to what I understand now, back to his lungs. So when he said he turned him down to 3 liters, so I guess that means from 4.8 liters of blood that was circulating through the ECMO now is down to 3, so that his body has to then deal with that much more blood to oxygenate and get oxygenation through the lungs and circulate around the body and all that other stuff, and then it kind of blends in, and they see what happens with his blood gases. So from weaning earlier, nothing has changed as far as the ECMO settings go. So I suppose that's a win there. The waking up is just a very, like, it seems like it's an aggressive process, and I'm trying to, very kindly say to them, do you think maybe you could just go a bit more slow? And then the nurse says, well, we've got to start waking him up eventually here. It's like, but I'm not saying not to wake him up. I'm just saying, can we take it a little slower? Like, just so that he's not as uncomfortable. And because it's hard to watch, because when the work of breathing starts, and I mean, just in my nursing brain, you know, having a respiration rate of 30 and above is not normal. And I start worrying about, you know, like him getting acidotic, and I don't know. I mean, I know they're watching that, and the numbers are different, obviously, in ICU. I get, well, I shouldn't say obviously. It's not obvious to me, but it seems to be that their numbers are very much different than we would have in, you know, allowing a saturation of 88% down to 85% would freak most of us out, but in any other unit. But of course, because of the ECMO, I guess, I don't know. It's just so much I don't know. And then I was worried about the, you know, him taking, his lung volumes were actually quite high today, even above 500 in some area, in some cases, like when he was doing the work of breathing, when they gave him the propofol, went back to like under 300. But so that means his body is taking those rests, like those volumes, as much as his body wants to take, I guess, is what it was explained to me. So, and they said it wouldn't be damaging to his lungs, because I was asking if by increasing those volumes, could that stimulate possibly another inflammatory process? And I guess it could, but not from the ventilator, I guess, because I still don't get it. I still don't know, because I really feel like that's kind of what set him back each time, was that his work of breathing got so intense that it just caused another inflammatory process. So it sounded like when I left that, because I don't like to be there at shift change, the nurse that's on nights said they're going to keep him on that propofol throughout the night and let him rest a little bit more, because they don't want to, I think, have to do that kind of stuff at nighttime. I don't know. But then that's okay for me too, because I would rather be there, so he can, like when he opened his eyes when they were changing him, I kind of tried to get in towards his face so he could see me, and I could talk to him, and he was moving his legs and stuff, so that's cool if he's gonna start doing that when they wake him up again. It's just that, you know, when it coming off of propofol, I guess they can be very agitated and things, and I don't know. So I have to be prepared to see some ugly things, I guess. Like it was explained to me that some people, their work of breathing is so heavy it's actually shaking the bed, and his wasn't like that, but I mean, you know, labored almost, what we would consider labored breathing, and I guess that's just a normally function in higher blood pressures, and I don't know. But then I overheard it shift the report, because I was still there when the one nurse was coming on and the other one coming off. Or they were talking about, well, why don't you just shut him off and make him hypercapnic and just get this, they do that now. And then the other one said about, no, well, they want to wait till tomorrow. But nobody explains this stuff to me. So I think that's a question I'm going to have to ask. I'm going to have to go in earlier tomorrow and ask about that very thing, because I don't know. Really don't know. I just haven't, excuse me, been wanting to do a lot of research on weaning ECMO, because I want to stay kind of ignorant in some ways, like just, I don't know. But the one nurse who's also an RT, who's also an ECMO specialist, said that this happens, and sometimes they cap for ECMO, then they go back on, and then they cap again, and then they have to put them back on, and it's this, like, he works mostly in peds, but I don't know. But I did ask, I said, look, you know, I really would like to be kind of informed prior, because it's nice to know what to expect than to just be caught off guard. Because then the roller coaster won't be quite as wild. Anyway, that's all I know for now, and I'll see what happens. I had to wash my hair because I'm hopefully getting maintenance tomorrow because I look like a rat. And have to have clean hair. That's it for me. Hopefully I'll get rest tonight and not worry. I love you all. Stay safe. Danny, thank you for sending that message. I played it for your dad, and I'll play it again tomorrow when he's more awake too. And yeah, it'll be nice for him. So, as he's waking up, please send more messages. Please send voice messages. I really want for him to hear familiar voices and connect and hear stories and give him all the reasons to just get those lungs going again so that we can have him home. Anyway, love you all. Stay safe. Keep your loved ones close and let them know that you love them. Get vaccinated if you haven't. Get your second vaccination if you're eligible. That's it for now.